Welcome to Season 2 of Hey Emma, the podcast where a teen girl and her dad discuss the challenges and fundamentals of living a teenage life.
In Season 2, you'll find a plethora of new topics ranging from really serious to really uplifting and overall a really fun time.
So join us as we aspire to help many teens and their parents live a more fulfilling life. It's
Hey Emma. Hey Emma.
Hey Dad.
Today we're going to talk about the effects of kind words.
We're going to talk about how they impact you and whether kind words could be too much in a situation.
Sounds good. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
So much has happened since we last spoke to our listeners. We've had a vacation.
Yes.
Your sister, Leah, with Down syndrome, what did she achieve?
She got her black belt
Yeah.
in Hapkido.
8 years it took her to do that. Mm-hmm. That's incredible. So now we have 2 black belts in the family. You're a black belt in Hapkido, and Leah's now a black belt.
I hear buzzing.
What kind of buzzing?
In my headphones.
Oh, we got to check your mic, huh? Maybe your mic is making some noise. We're starting to have a little more noise in our setup down here. I think we're going to have to do some rearranging, get things figured out. Anyway, so that happened, and then, of course, we had the 4th of July weekend, so we were quite busy. We had all kinds of activities going on.
Yep.
So, but none of that really leads us into, we have no good segue to get into what we want to talk about today. So why don't you start? We want to talk about the effects of kind words.
So we're going to start kind of light. What kind of compliments, because compliments are something that people get all the time, and what kind of compliments, like, or what type of compliment do you get the most?
Who, me?
Yes.
I don't really pay much attention. I don't know. That's a good question. I've never really thought about it. What kind of compliments do I get? I get compliments from our customers at work saying that I did a really good job in helping them out. So that's something I like to hear, and I hear that frequently. So I must be doing a good job. How about you? What kind of compliments do you hear?
The compliment I've gotten the most is on my eyes.
You do have incredible blue eyes. They're beautiful.
And another one would be for my, like, when I dress nicely for that day, even if I don't intend to, but when I dress nicely, I usually get complimented by a bunch of people on it.
Yeah.
Teachers and from students, so.
Makes a difference.
Yeah.
You had started dressing nicely. I think you had attended something, and you came home and you said, you know what, I want to start dressing better, because you were getting into the habit of dressing very, very, very casually.
Mm-hmm.
And then something changed. What was that?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. But something had changed, and you decided you wanted to dress better, and then now summer's here, and you're starting to get a little more casual, but still nice, but not as nice as when you're going to school.
Yeah, definitely.
So anyway, compliments. You get compliments about the way you dress and your eyes. Mm-hmm. What kind of compliments would you want to get? What things are important to you?
I don't know. I usually, like, I mean, it's usually about, like, my eyes or what I'm wearing, but not about, like, oh, you look really pretty today or something.
What kind of things would you want people to notice about you? I mean, are these physical things, or do you prefer people notice your intelligence or your wit?
Well, I do get a lot of compliments about, like, how smart I am too. But like when I do well on a test, or they're like, "Oh yeah, I always knew you were gonna get that because you're so smart and stuff."
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
You're a sharp cookie, that's for sure.
I get lots of compliments. I don't know. I don't think I have a good amount that there's nothing that I'm really looking for.
Okay.
What about you?
Well, I don't know. Again, I don't think about it. I really don't. I think, it's great when people recognize when I put effort into stuff. And I put in effort into other stuff and I don't get recognized for it. And I can tell you that when I don't get recognized for it, I feel a little down about it. It does hurt when people don't recognize. I mean, like, when I'm involved with the Down syndrome group, and I was the president for a long time, and not even, I mean, every now and then somebody would say, hey, great job, you're doing a great job with it, but most of the time it has to be self-directed compliments. Like, I know I worked hard on it, I know I delivered something that everyone had a good time at, so I just kind of have to recognize myself.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. It's really hard to do.
And the thing about, like, not noticing them as much or not realizing them, could that be like a gender thing? Like, do boys not get as many compliments, therefore they don't look for them as much.
Maybe we get compliments on different things. Like
Yeah.
boys are recognized for doing physical things. Like, if I were to, build something, I'd get recognized for it. If I were to do, have some sort of a sports achievement, then and I don't want to say it's, the typical gender stereotypes, but it does seem to follow along those lines.
Yeah.
If you do something physical, if you do something sports related, if you do something that's constructing something, you get recognized for it. But when you're like me sitting on my butt all day, sorry about that, sitting on my butt all day, and you're working on websites and things like that, doing some of my database work,
and it's not like
you don't get necessarily recognized for it. And in the work world, you don't frequently get recognized for the work you do.
Yeah. And it's not like you guys have nice looking clothes. I mean, you do, but like you don't get recognized all the time for dressing up for something.
Well, no. I mean, definitely have a dad bod that I've developed over the years, and so it takes a special kind of clothes to make it look good. I don't know.
And I think that it could go the other way for girls. Like they have lots of things about. I feel like they get more appraisal when they do something that's not or that's out of the ordinary for them, like doing well on a test or like because
more intellectual things.
Yeah, more intellectual things because that's I'm not to be rude, but that's what people think the guys would do more. So then,
what do you mean? So you're saying that guys should be doing?
No.
I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused too.
Okay, glad that's clear. It's very clear we're both confused.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so let's move on. Let's talk. What do we have next on the list here? Could there be some situations where positive words and encouragement don't help a situation? For example, when you're mad.
Yeah, I think so because there would be some times when I'm mad, like very worked up and I'm in my own thoughts and then someone tries to comfort me and I get mad at them for trying to comfort me.
Yeah.
Because
I've noticed it too that when you are in a bad mood, it almost seems to make you even more angry that if we try to talk you out of the bad mood. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you just want to be in a bad mood. It's like, leave me alone. I don't want to be bothered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm a teenager, so.
Yeah.
What about you? Is there any situations where it seem like positive words would be too much in a situation?
There are times when I'm hungry and angry, that you almost can't say something nice about me because it will just make me more angry. And I try to avoid those situations. But it happens. I mean, it's you really can't. When I'm irrational and my head is spinning 1,000 miles a minute, and it's just pure confusion and irritation and whatever. Mm-hmm. You really can't talk me out of it. Yeah. So I've gotten to the point now where when I start feeling myself going down that path and getting hangry, I have almost conditioned myself, not perfectly, but almost conditioned myself to make a joke out of it. So I can turn it somewhat quickly and see the absurdity of my behavior and almost make a joke out of it.
Oh.
So I'm getting better at it. I hadn't been for a long, long time. I mean, I would just get angry and I'd stay angry for hours sometimes, and I'd stomp around the house and I'd yell and I'd be, slamming doors and stuff, and just it was stupid. I looked when I was done with that episode, and I'd look back on it and go, oh, my gosh, I was acting like a 6-year-old. Just stupid, and I'm an adult. But so
I feel like that's the same for me. When just the other day we saw what happens when I don't get enough sleep.
Oh yeah,
because I have this routine where I go to bed at 9 o'clock every night or 9:30 in between those times, like 10 o'clock at the latest, sometimes not. But there was one night where you guys were gone for a while, so until like 11:30. So me and my
that's when we were helping out
up
at the festival, huh?
Yeah. And so we stayed up until 11:30 when you guys got home. And then the next day after that, I was in the worst mood ever.
Yeah. You could tell.
Yeah.
And you kept picking on your sister.
Yeah.
And she kept picking on you.
Yeah.
Because she was tired because she stayed up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was unpleasant.
See, that wouldn't have been a good situation.
No, but if you can recognize it and you can turn it into something that's funny, if you can see the humor in it, like you can now. I mean, because you look at it back at it now and you see that it was absurd. It was because you were tired and your behavior was not rational.
Yeah.
But if you could see that while it's happening, then you can really knock yourself out of it, into a better position.
Yeah.
Your notes. I'm reading your notes here. It says, give the other person a compliment or positive piece of encouragement. Or are these like stage direction? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading your notes for the first time. Good prep, Dad.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm supposed to compliment you?
Sure.
Okay. You have beautiful blue eyes.
That works.
And you're really smart. I love how you came up with this podcast idea and put it down on paper, as well as some thoughts and digital paper, and thoughts, and really, put effort into making this a good episode.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Thank you. I tried. I usually don't make the notes for the episodes, but this time it was all on me. So
yeah. Well, I've been making notes for some of the episodes, and I've noticed that the ones that we do make notes for are generally better episodes than the ones that we just kind of do fly by the seat of our pants.
Yeah.
So I know your microphone's starting to buzz.
I know. Compliment you now.
You like my eyes? My beautiful blue eyes.
I like how dedicated you are to everything. I always like
everything?
I always like to see your dedication to things. Like when you're passionate about something, I like to see how happy you are when you like this podcast and the family. I always like how dedicated you are to things.
Well, it's easy to be dedicated to you guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, and I like seeing when you get happy when I do things right.
Yeah.
When I do something well, and then you're being happy makes me happy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And your being happy makes me happy. So it's like a wonderful spiral, huh?
Yeah.
A spiral up. So how much impact can we get from using positive words to ourselves? I was reading that book. I started reading the book, and unfortunately I haven't finished it yet. What to say when you talk to yourself. And it's so important, the words that you say to yourself. And, I've been trying to, over the last several years, it seems to be when I turned 40 that I started becoming very introspective about how I treat myself. And I don't know if that's something that comes with the age or what, but, in your 30s, I struggled with careers and all that because I'd had a great high-paying job, and then I got downsized, and then all these other little jobs where I didn't make a whole lot of money, and, you get beat up, and you just feel crappy about yourself, and you start talking bad about yourself and the choices you've made and blah, 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 and it spirals. And then, I kind of hit my 40s, and I'm like, why talk to myself like this? I'm worth so much more.
Yeah.
Get my act together, do something that's going to contribute to the family, and let's make it go. So it's taken a while to get to this point.
I just started working on my positive self-talk too, just in my head.
Yeah.
Because I would be, when I start spiraling, then it's almost like I have conflicting sides when I do that, because I would be talking really bad, and then all of a sudden a voice out of nowhere would be like, "No, Emma, you need to think positively. You are better than this. I know you can do this. You are amazing." And then I go back to the dark side, and then I'm like, "No, Emma."
Yeah.
And
it's a struggle.
Yeah, it goes back and forth, but I've been working on it. It's been hard, but there would be some times where I just like, you know what? No, I'm just going to let the dark side win for this one.
So you're like Kylo Ren.
Yeah. Wow, thanks. Kill my father? Am I gonna...
Oh, wait. Scratch that.
But yeah, there are some times when I can pull myself out of it to the point where I can do my positive talk until I can find something to distract myself so that I get off of that track. But
sometimes I think distracting yourself helps immensely too.
Yeah.
Just you gotta break that cycle, that spiral that your mind gets into, and you're doing this and that and talking, just the negative self-talk, and it's so hard to break. Mm-hmm. But if you can distract yourself by something, the problem is that a lot of people will distract themselves with things that are negative, that are further negative, like, adults, they'll start drinking, they find some alcohol,
or
find solace in alcohol, but
listen to sad music or
Yeah.